The routine nobody questioned. In most cities, 2:17 a.m. is just another quiet moment. The streets are empty, the lights are low, and most people are fast asleep. But for Daniel Brooks, a late-night delivery driver in Colorado, that exact time meant something unusual. Every single night, without fail, an order would come in. 2:17 a.m. sharp. Same items. A cheeseburger, fries, black coffee. No changes, no notes. The name on the order, M. Carter. At first, Daniel didn't think much of it. Late-night customers were normal in his job. Some people worked night shifts. Others just couldn't sleep. But this was different. This wasn't random. This was precise. Too precise. And then there was the address. An old apartment complex on the edge of town. Not dangerous, but not exactly welcoming either. The kind of place people passed by without noticing. Every night, Daniel would walk up the dim hallway, knock on the same door, and it would open just slightly, just enough for a hand to reach out. Pale, quiet, cash exchanged, no words, no thank you, no eye contact, no sound at all. Then the door would shut. At first, it felt like just another routine, but after weeks of the exact same thing, it started to feel wrong. Because people don't live like that. Not normally. And Daniel couldn't shake the feeling that something inside that apartment wasn't right. Then one night, Daniel noticed something through the crack of the door. Something that didn't match the silence.
The small detail that changed everything. It happened on a cold night. Same time, 2:17 a.m. Same order. Daniel arrived like always, climbed the stairs, and knocked. The door opened slightly. But this time, something was different. There was light inside. Not normal light. It flickered, like a TV stuck on static. Daniel frowned. The hand reached out as usual, but this time it was shaking. Just slightly. Enough for Daniel to notice. He hesitated before handing over the food. And for a brief second, he tried to look inside. But the door didn't open wider. It never did. Still, something felt off. Back in his car, Daniel checked the order again. M. Carter. Same name. Same time. But now, questions started forming. Why the silence? Why the exact timing every night? And why did it feel like things inside the apartment were changing? Over the next few nights, Daniel paid closer attention. The flickering light appeared again. The hand looked weaker, slower. And once, he thought he heard something. A faint noise. Not a TV. Not music. Something softer. Like a voice. But before he could be sure, the door closed. Quickly. Like someone didn't want him to hear or see. And that's when Daniel realized this wasn't just a routine anymore. Because the next time he spoke, something inside finally responded. And it wasn't what he expected.
When silence starts speaking. The next night, Daniel made a decision. He wasn't going to stay silent anymore. 2:17 a.m. The order came in. He picked it up, drove to the apartment, and walked down that same dim hallway. Knock. The door opened slightly. The hand reached out. But before the exchange could happen, Daniel said, "Hey, are you okay in there?" For a moment, nothing happened. The hand froze. completely still. Then slowly, it dropped the cash into his hand. No voice. No response. Just silence again. But this time, Daniel didn't walk away. He stayed, standing outside the door, listening. And then, he heard it. A faint sound, weak, barely there, but unmistakable. A voice. Not from a TV. Not from outside. From inside the apartment. Daniel's chest tightened. He knocked again. Hello? Do you need help? No answer. The hallway felt colder, quieter, like something wasn't right. Daniel stepped back slowly, his mind racing. Was he overthinking this? Or was someone inside actually in trouble? That night he went home, but he couldn't sleep. Because deep down he knew one thing. Whatever was happening behind that door was getting worse. And the next night, when 2:17 a.m. came, the order never appeared.
The night it stopped. The next night felt different from the start. Daniel kept checking the app. 2:15 a.m., 2:16, then 2:17. Nothing. No order. No notification. Just silence. At first he thought it might be a delay, but minutes passed. Then an hour. Still nothing. And instead of relief, Daniel felt uneasy. Because routines like that don't just stop. Not suddenly. Not after weeks of perfect consistency. Something had changed, and not in a good way. By 3 a.m., Daniel couldn't ignore it anymore. He grabbed his keys and drove to the apartment. No order this time, just instinct. When he arrived, the building looked the same, dark, quiet. But the hallway light flickered as he walked, and when he reached the door, he froze. It was slightly open, just a crack. Daniel pushed it gently. Hello? No answer. Inside, the apartment was dim, cold. The TV flickered with static, the same light he had seen before. He stepped in slowly, every instinct telling him something was wrong. Then he saw it, a plate of old food on the floor, untouched. Daniel moved further inside, and what he found in the next room would explain everything. The truth and the lesson. Daniel walked toward the bedroom, his heart pounding. The door was half open. He pushed it gently, and inside, a man lay on the bed, still, pale, barely breathing. Daniel rushed forward. Hey, can you hear me? No response. Then he noticed the phone beside him. The screen was still on. Daniel picked it up, and what he saw changed everything. A delivery app with scheduled orders every night, 2:17 a.m., days in advance. The man hadn't been placing the orders daily. He had planned them as a safety net, in case something went wrong, in case he couldn't call for help. Daniel immediately called 911. Minutes later, sirens filled the night. Paramedics arrived and took the man away, alive, just in time. Later, Daniel learned the truth. The man lived alone, no family nearby, no one checking in. So he created a system, hoping someone, someday, would notice if something changed. And someone did. Life lesson. Not every cry for help is loud. Sometimes it's hidden in patterns, in routines, in small details we ignore every day. If something feels wrong, trust that feeling. Because one small moment of attention, one decision to care, can be the difference between life and death.